I don't even know. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. And Thiago is going to join Liverpool. At this stage, I just cannot overemphasise how frustrating it is to be run by these inept people at Manchester United. I mean, look, the headline today was going to be Solskjaer's transfer frustration. There is reports about Solskjaer being really frustrated that he hasn't got the players in. But look, Liverpool have just bought Thiago. They're playing at the weekend and they've got Thiago. Man City have bought players in. Chelsea have bought players in. The three teams that we're meant to be competing with this year have all massively improved their squad, and we've done F all. I mean, I like Van der Beek, but will he even start? We've not improved that team for our manager. I'm telling you now, what it's like, man. What it's like supporting Manchester United at the moment. I'm sure many of you would empathise with this. You wake up in the morning, you go to bed drained and fed up. You wake up in the morning, it's a new day. Maybe today's going to be the day. Maybe today's the day they put their arse in gear and they do something. You get up, you go in the shower, you're feeling refreshed, you have a bit of Radox, it's got menthol smell. Oh, lovely, I'm feeling good. This is going to be the day. You get out the shower, you slip, you fall down the stairs, you hit the bottom of the stairs and you're like, oh my God, am I dead? Oh, that was so painful. Then the shelf above you breaks. The vase falls off, hits you on the head and lands in the groin. And you're just like, oh my God, this is so bloody painful. And then, not only that, because you're a United fan, somebody somehow has filmed it and it's been live streamed to the world. So it's not only painful, it's massively embarrassing as well. And it's rinse and repeat. Every bloody day of this transfer window, it is painful and it is embarrassing. And I just cannot believe it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You're lucky if you're in different parts of the world, by the way. You're really unlucky if it's like 7 a.m. because you've got a longer day than us. But in the UK, it's 10 a.m. in the morning and we're sat here with a whole day ahead with Thiago to Liverpool going, oh my, OMG, let's just say that. I just, at this point, cannot get I can, this is the hard thing, but I cannot get my head around the fact that we're starting the season in 48 hours and we are not prepared for our biggest season. And look, every season's big. We said it when Mourinho had finished second, that this was the big season now after that. But this is our biggest season. We finished third. Somehow we managed that. We've now got to close the gap on Liverpool and Man City to a certain extent. But Liverpool have made a better signing than us. I mean, Liverpool, well, look, I think Van der Beek's a good signing. But Thiago, look, is Van der Beek better than Thiago? I don't know. But I tell you what, Liverpool's football team shits all over ours. And they've added Thiago to it. We cannot, even if Van der Beek is as good as Thiago, which some would say he is, some would say he isn't, is irrelevant. Because we haven't closed the gap on Liverpool. They've bought a very good midfielder. And they brought a left back in, to be fair. So they've done more signings than us. But they've bought a very good midfielder in. We've bought a very good midfielder in. So the gap is still 30 points, isn't it? Because their team is still better than ours. We have not done anything to close the gap on Liverpool going into a new season. And look, we will do signings. Of course we will. But we haven't done them at the right time. And if we drop points against Crystal Palace, it's on the bloody board. It's a joke. I can't even begin to talk about this Thiago deal because we were led to believe yesterday United have still got a chance. It's a slim chance, but I'm fed up of being proved right on this. I said the Reguilon deal didn't feel right. I felt we were being used. Lo and behold, we were. I said a week ago, it's on Twitter. I quote tweeted it about half an hour ago. Thiago to Liverpool, it's going to happen. Good signing, and it happened. You can read it like a bloody book. I just hope my persistent, confident 90% club about Sancho will happen as well, because at least I've been right about a few things, but I don't want to keep being right about this. Do we need Thiago? Probably not. Would it have given us a boost? Is he better than what we've got? Yes, he shits all over Fred and McTominay, to be honest with you. So, look, I would like Thiago to have come in, but to be honest with you, it's just the noise again. It's the noise, it's the hope. And look, I don't care. People might say we were never in for Thiago. I'll guarantee Manchester Evening News and others will say United were never in for Thiago, because that's what we'll do. But I've said this many times over the years. I don't want to hear we weren't in for Thiago. I don't want to hear we weren't in for Fabinho a few years ago. What I want to know is why we weren't in for them. It's not about... I'm not banging the chest anymore. Oh, shut up, Liverpool. You've got Thiago, but we never wanted him anyway. What's that? We never wanted him anyway, FC. No. Like, maybe we should be looking at these players because our transfer business, this transfer window, has been nothing short of shocking again. And it's embarrassing and it's not good enough. And there was some stat I saw this morning on ESPN. I think it was Rob Dawson saying that United's average spend or United's spend when we've qualified for the Champions League is 80 million. Not net spend, just 80 million. We spend about 80 million. When we haven't qualified for the Champions League, we average about 160 million. Well, that just shows you there straight away what this club's all about. And we all know it. If we're not in the Champions League, they panic to get us back in the Champions League. But then when we're in the Champions League, let's get the blanket on and save a bit of money. Because, the ambition is not there when you get into the tournament. The ambition is there to get back in the tournament to make money. And it's just depressing, it really is. Anyone who seriously watches football knows that what a world-class signing this is for Liverpool. Gutted, even if not us, did not want them to get him, says Tejas. I agree with you on that one. I think it's a fantastic signing for Liverpool, I really do. Love from India, says Dishant, thank you very much. So look, Thiago to Liverpool. I mean, whether you think we were in for him or not, the thing that I would say is he's a very good signing. Well done to Liverpool. He's better than most of our midfielders. And Liverpool are already the champions by a long way. So Liverpool have just made themselves a better side. So well done to Liverpool. But the big frustration for me is not really that we didn't get Thiago. It's that we haven't got anybody. We've not prepared for this season. And it's a bloody disgrace. And it's a bloody embarrassment. We are not prepared for this new season at all. And it's going to be lucky if we can get points until we get Sancho in. Because it's not prepared. It's not good enough. And it's a bloody disgrace. Paul Pogba will probably play on Saturday, but he's had COVID and he's only been back training a week. Van der Beek is a new signing. Bruno, a week ago, was back in Portugal for the birth of his new child. We are not prepared for... Harry Maguire's had all the problems in Greece. Greenwood's had all the problems in Iceland. Not the shop, the country. We're just not prepared for this season at all. And it does, we'll probably go and win the league now. I mean, and that would be amazing, but... And I'm not saying that we can't go and have a good start to the season, because of course we can, but anyone will tell you in anywhere, a clever person gets a spelling test, they get 20 out of 20. But is that luck? Is that talent? Whatever. Talent will only take you so far. You've got to prepare. We're not prepared. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be trying to prepare, but we're not prepared. Welcome to the members club, Kurash Pawar. And as Kushal says, football's meant to be fun, and at the moment it's very depressing. It is supporting United. Call Ben Williams a Pratt, please, Mark, says Josh Parvin. And we have the second highest wage bill in football. Just let that sink in. Run by a bunch of clowns. I know, FaZe. We pay more money than most teams in the world, and that is amazing. I saw somebody there just saying Sancho or bust. That Sancho's not going to... That bust. Sancho on his own was never enough. Sancho, after the Crystal Palace game, is a joke. He will massively improve us, but I just think we've been played, and I think we're all above this now. I know what's going to happen. I think you know what's going to happen as well. Jadon Sancho and Josh King. I reckon that's what's going to happen. And I think the reason that they've dragged this Sancho deal out is twofold. One, to try and save a bit of money, because every week he's not here is another 200 grand they're not having to pay him. And two, because they're going to announce Sancho at a point where we all go, that's amazing, and then the transfer window closes and we didn't do any other business. They think they're clever, they're not. They're manipulating this transfer window so that Sancho comes in towards the end and we all go, well, at least we got Sancho, and that's it. Not the centre back, probably not a left back. And Josh King, you just know that's going to happen because Ollie loves him and he's just bloody bang average. That will just be the kick in the nuts that we all need. But I still believe we will get. I still believe we will get Sancho. Of course I do. But he should have been in by now. Mark, now Liverpool getting Thiago on a left back. They have added to a title 99-point team. We are now behind all of the top six teams in regards to transfers. They've all done more business, as Martial FC. It's a joke. There is no passion. There is no ambition. There is no aggression. There is no hunger from that board to progress what Solskjaer did at the end of last season. Every other board, whether it be Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, have improved their team better than us. Let that sink in. They've all improved their team better than us. Forget what our team is. Don't come at me and say, well, we've already got a better team than Arsenal and Spurs. I accept that. But was our team that we've got good enough to get close to Liverpool? No. Was it good enough to win a Europa League? No. It needed to be improved on, and they haven't done it. So that's your board for you. Only thing this board can do is move swiftly for Tellez for 20 million and get Sancho over the line because it's so toxic right now, says Barry Haynes. We ain't getting any deal over the line before Palace. We're going into the Palace game with what we've got. That's what annoys me. How have we let Liverpool sign Thiago for 27 million? We're lucky Real Madrid couldn't sign Donny, otherwise we would have signed no one, says Callum Mazar. And watching football in 2014, I started supporting United because I like to support underdogs. As at the time, I'll need to think about my life choices, says Depanshu. And this is the last season where we will say 20 times, says Ankit. Well, if Liverpool win the league, then they've done it 20 times. And at the moment, it's looking rather good for them, isn't it? But look, ESPN are saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is frustrated with the transfer activity of Manchester United. He understands that we're living in a COVID world, but the deals that he expected to come in and go out have not been materialised, and he thought they would have happened by now. I mean, look, you and us both, Ollie. I think the one positive is that the most of the United fan base realise this is not on Solskjaer. He's not been backed. He's not been given the preparation that he needs, and he's not been given the players that he needs. And I will never really understand why Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, has never figured this out, and it must be to do with saving money, but I don't understand why we are willing to give up Premier League points to drag a signing out. Sancho should have been in already. What are we waiting for? Bruno should have been in before that Burnley game and we lost points. It's soul destroying because we're football fans. We're not bank fans. We don't stand outside HSBC with scarves going, here we go, here we go, here we go, waiting for it to open up at 9 o'clock so we can get some money out the cash till. We're not robbing, I meant the cash machine. We're a football club. And I think we've become a football club. As fans, we're a football club that has to almost endure #they want us to celebrate business skills. We're a football club. We've got a match on Saturday. We should have the players in to play that match like Chelsea did, like other clubs have done. We are going into this game against Crystal Palace with the same team that played against Crystal Palace a couple of months ago at their place. So hopefully we can beat them, but it's a massive risk. It's a massive risk. And what you're also asking to do, just by the way, if we do make a couple of signings, you're asking those new signings to come into a team that's already started the season. So there's no gel time, there's no camaraderie, there's no let's get to know each other in pre-season. It's get involved, And you know what's going to happen if we do sign Sancho or another player. Ollie's going to come out and say, well, you know what, he's got to get used to it. It's going to take a little bit of time to adjust. Sod that. We should not be saying about new signings, oh, we've got to wait for them to adjust and get used to it. This should have been in pre-season. That's why you buy them. Do you think Lampard's got... I mean, look, a new signing will take time to adjust, but they're going to take a lot more time to adjust when you just drop them into a season that's already up and running. I just despair, I really do. Mark, now we've read that one. The Glazers have splashed out on big players for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do you think that might have had an effect on United signings, says Daniel Priest? How have the Glazers got away with destroying our club? Regardless of Sancho, we have massive problems ahead. We need to get them out, so Matt Busby would be turning in his grave, says Lee. Will Dortmund sell Sancho without giving them time for a replacement, says Nikhil? They'll sell him if we give him the price they want. And at the start of the year, we were talking about the Man United new vision and direction. So is that all just a big lie, says Sarvalan? And we should be good enough to beat Palace without Sancho. The board are useless, I agree. But if we need players to beat them, we should give it up, says Ricky Keeley. It's not even about beating Palace, because Palace is not a cup final, Ricky. It's about starting the season with momentum and a vision. What is the vision for this season? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think the best 11 we've got is the best 11 we had at the end of the season. So I don't see a progression. I don't see a vision. I don't see an ambition of this team to develop. I know what Solskjaer's development is. I know what he wanted. He wanted a centre-back and a right winger. But he's not been given those players. Just hope Fab says Sancho deal is off and puts us out of the misery. We can't handle this pain anymore. Ollie will get sacked in the end. Absolute shambles, says Aaron Vandar. And Mark, it's 2 a.m. in Arizona. Can't sleep until the Sancho deal is done. Still in the 90% club of getting him. Feel gutted how poor we are this transfer market. I think the worrying thing is that Sancho will be a great signing for Manchester United, but it's almost become, where does that put you now? Because United just want to reveal Sancho and go, look at what we've done. Let's get it trending. Hashtag Sancho number 7 and all that lot. And they want to make out that this signing will make us a great side. It will make us a better side, but it's one player. One player. Liverpool have added Thiago to a team that's very good. That's going to make them better. Chelsea have added loads of players to a team that was 4th. That's going to make them better. Sancho will make us better, but how much better will he make us comparable to the fact that Liverpool are now better, Chelsea are now better, and Man City, well, I don't really know about Man City, to be honest with you. You've seen Arsenal getting closer to Aouar and Partey, says Rafa Maro. Oh, well, this is next, isn't it? And look, I don't want Bale at Manchester United. He's going to Spurs. I would have liked Reguilon, but Spurs have bought Doherty, Reguilon, Højbjerg and Bale's coming in. That's a good window for Spurs. They've already got people like Harry Kane, Son, Arsenal, Willian's a good signing for them. Aouar would be a good signing. Partey would be a good signing. Aubameyang staying. Gabriel looked okay. Arteta looks like he's going to do a decent job there. So everybody's improving around us. But all we're fixated on now, when some of you aren't, to be fair, is when Sancho going to sign. Well, he ain't going to be in for the Palace game. So that's a big up yours from the board to Ollie and the fans. We don't care about that Palace game. We're trying to save money. We're not bothered about preparing for the start of the season. We don't care about you going into the season with momentum and camaraderie. Screw that. You'll get him when we're ready. That's to Ollie. That's to the fans. But also, does Sancho, on his own, into that first team, make us as good as a Liverpool side that was 30 points ahead of us and now has Thiago in it? I don't think it does. I think we've been sold down the river again. Sancho on his own will not make the difference to United closing in on Liverpool or Man City. It will make us better, but if everybody else is getting better, you're just standing still. If you're in a boat race and everyone's got oars, them things that make those funny wood things that make the water move or the boat move. Everyone's got oars, right? So United go and get a really good engine, chuck the oars in. We're a speedboat now, but everybody else buys a speedboat. But they were already better than you. They're still going to be better than you because you've only gone and got what everyone else has got. And I think United just haven't done enough in this window. Simple as. Simple as. Forget Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Clubs like Arsenal, Spurs, Everton, Wolves and Leicester are showing more ambition than our clowns, says Sanjit. And the club constantly let their name get used by other teams to speed up the actual buying club. We're absolutely atrocious and it's embarrassing, says Chris Elliott. But you know what? I accept that. I think that we can all name transfers from this summer that we've been linked to that we probably weren't in for. What was that lad from Valencia the other day that we were talking about? Maybe Osimhen, people like that. People where United get mentioned, but there's not really been any credibility around that. With Thiago, Christian Falk said that we'd spoken to Bayern and we'd spoken to Thiago. With Gabriel, Fabrizio Romano said we'd been in talks with his agents. With Reguilon, we were very close to doing that deal. Now, it will come out in the press, we were never in for Reguilon. We were never in for Thiago. We weren't interested in Gabriel. But then you've got credible people in the transfer industry saying that we spoke to all 3 of those players. So we can't just keep saying our name's been used. We know our name gets used. It gets used a lot. And there are lots of examples, like I said, where I don't think we're in for players over this summer where our name has been used. But there are also players where credible outlets are saying that we did have discussions with them and then we didn't get the player. And it goes back to what we always seem to see these days. When another club wants a player, we don't win the race. And Thiago, Liverpool. Reguilon, Spurs. Gabriel, Arsenal. These are all players that apparently we had talks with and we haven't won the race. Bellingham, Dortmund. Haaland, Dortmund. That's 5 deals I can think of in the last 6 months that we were heavily into apparently and never won. 2 years and still no director of football. Why are we surprised that it takes for so long to buy a player when we can't hire a director? We are a joke now, says Irfan. And try to digest this, Mark. Aki to City, Werner to Chelsea, Gabriel to Arsenal, Reguilon to Spurs, and now Thiago to Liverpool. Did I miss any? That's from Amaz Adamson. And United fans need to buy enough shares to take over the club. Only then can we have realistic title hopes, says Connor. Listening to TalkSport and hearing all these transfers happening, there's teams that fought relegation and championship teams showing more ambition, says Russell Thompson. Thiago and Reguilon weren't even really our targets. Who were our targets and why haven't we signed them? What have we been doing for months, says Sanja. Exactly. So if they're not our targets, who are our targets? And that's a very important point from Sanjit there. It's all right hiding behind we weren't in for them anyway. We didn't want to buy Reguilon. We didn't want to buy Thiago. But who did we want to buy? And what's the excuse that they're not here for the Crystal Palace game? You know, we've had 6 weeks of this transfer window. We've bought one player. Who are the targets that Ollie had? And why are they not here for the Palace game? That's the failure. We can all moan about Thiago and Reguilon, and quite rightly some people would said. But let's focus on the most important issue here. If they weren't your targets, who are your targets? And why are they not in now? Because that's the failure. That is the failure. If Thiago's not your target and somebody else was, where is it? If Reguilon wasn't your target and somebody else is, where is it? Where's the centre-back? Where are they? Where's Jadon Sancho? Where are they? Who are your targets? Why are they not in the club? That's the failure. That's the frustration for me. Because I'm very excited about Manchester United playing Crystal Palace on Saturday, but there's a massive part of me that feels very disillusioned by it. Because I'm like, I can pick the starting 11. I know that starting 11, and it's the same starting 11 that we were picking back in June. Because nothing's changed. Our best 11 is still the best 11 from June. So where's the progress? And that's the soundbite, isn't it? I've got nothing against our best 11 from June, but it hit its ceiling. 3rd place and a Europa League semi-final. That's its ceiling. We're going into a new season with the same team as last season that probably can get 4th, can probably get to a Champions League quarter-final, but can't do anything better than that, and we already know that. The whole point about a season is that you reflect on where you are, and if it's not where you want to be, you add to it to make it better. We finished 3rd. That's our ceiling. We're Manchester United. We need to be fighting Liverpool. What have we done from that team that finished 3rd to fight Liverpool? Nothing. Van der Beek is a good player, but he gives us a little bit off the bench. We need more, and we haven't done enough. And I'm not convinced we are going to do enough, even with Sancho. Sancho on his own can change this team for the better. Just look at Bruno, says David B. We needed more than that, David. The Glazers and the board have ruined all the goodwill built up by Solskjaer and Bruno for the fans in a few months. Now predict us for 6th, says Mikan. And Tom Brown says, I'm sick of United. Just get Sancho. Also sick of people making videos about the United stand. Best channel on YouTube, says Tom Brown. And Connor Linnett, United. Yeah, we've read that one already. Lingard, PFA Player of the Year and 40 goals with 20 assists, says on. I'll tell you what, I think we'd all take that. Hi Mark, what's your thoughts on Ambani, says James Cutbush. Don't know what you're talking about. And do you think the board actually allows our name to be used by others? Maybe they just keep linking us to these players to keep the fans busy, says Mia. No, I mean, in fairness to Manchester United Football Club, they don't want United to be linked to lots of players because it generates what we're getting now, you know, where people are very frustrated. They only want us... it doesn't serve United any purpose to get linked to loads of players and continually frustrate your fans. But what happens is United talk to a player and it will get leaked out. Mark, it's about adding winners. You've seen all the clips of him talking and dictating play. We need someone like him. Might just take a break from social media, says Martial FC, talking about Thiago. A big challenge to Solskjaer to show how good a manager he is, says Neely. I mean, I'm not bothered about Bale. I'm not bothered about Bale. I'm excited to see Bale in the Premier League again, but I would never want him to. I would never want that experiment to be at United because
you know, if we had a settled team, I'd bring Bale into it. But we're building something apparently, and that's why it's very important that the right winger we bring in is Jadon Sancho. If we drop points in the Palace game, we will sign Sancho before Brighton game, and if we win, we will sign him after the Brighton game. But we will sign Sancho, says Gilchrist de Silva. I actually think we will sign Sancho next week. I don't know why. I think we will sign him next week regardless. I don't think it's going to go to the back end of the transfer window, so we'll see what happens with that. A few bits of transfer news anyway. Grealish has come out and said everything happens for a reason. Obviously, there was a lot of interest in me, but it didn't happen. That's because you were too expensive, Jack. Khedira has been linked to Manchester United by goal. He's 33 and shit, so that better not be happening. Pogba's still a bit of a doubt for the game against Crystal Palace, apparently. I think he will play. And I mean, this is a bit from last night. United is still expected to bring in 2 players before the 5th of October, which I think will happen. But at this point, what's the quality of those players going to be? If it's Upamecano and Sancho, happy days. We've got the business we needed. I mean, look, I would be... People say, you know, we should always face up to failure. That otherwise you don't learn. We're not getting Thiago. We're not getting Reguilon. How do you salvage a transfer window? Because, you know, one of the saving graces here, and I am very tired of it, that's why I'm yawning. One of the saving graces here is that we still do have time. We have messed the transfer window up, of course we have, and, you know, that needs to be acknowledged. But, you know, if you've worked anywhere, if you've been a manager, or if you've just been playing Football Manager or FIFA or whatever, you know, you've all had management skills just in different areas. If something goes wrong, do you just sit there going, this is crap, you're a prat, you're a prat? Or do you think, right, you are crap, you are a prat, how do we fix this? We've still got time. The thing is, there is still time for this window to be sorted out. We have messed it up, it is frustrating, and that needs to be digested in the future, and whether they're ever going to learn, I don't think there's any evidence that Manchester United's current transfer policy is ever going to change. We're going to get this every window where we drag things out and piss off our fans. That's going to keep happening. But there is still, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks left of this transfer window. We've still got time. If you said to me, how do we rescue this transfer window? Well, you get Jadon Sancho, you get Upamecano in, you've got Van der Beek, and I would have took that. Right winger, midfielder, centre-back. I would have took that. That is how you rescue the window. And if we did that, I would say, look, it's not the best preparation because we haven't got it done before the first game of the season, but we have gone out and got players in the positions we needed to get them in. Do I think we're going to get Upamecano? No. Do I think we'll get Sancho? Yes. Who do I think the second signing will be? Could be Tellez, but I don't think we'll get a left back now. I think we'll go with Williams as the understudy, which is a shame. I think we'll I still think the Josh King thing will happen. Maybe that's just psychological. I don't know, but I just it's a fear. I think that will happen. I don't think we're going to get another midfielder. I think the only other midfielder option was going to be Thiago. So I think that's it. No midfielders. So it really does leave for me. We'll go for. I mean, I pretty much think it'll be Sancho and King or Sancho and Tellez at this moment in time. I'd love to say it'll be Sancho and a centre-back, but that's just what I think is going to happen. And look, to be honest with you, it might just be Sancho, you know. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Thanks to everyone who's become a member, by the way, supporting the channel. For Alex Tellez, we need to seal the deal ASAP if we are really in for him because PSG were interested and all their left-backs are out for a long time. Well, we're not going to get him, Joskin. I mean, this is my problem with Tellez. I don't think we will get him because there will be competition for him and we will lose. We don't win competition transfer races, do we? Fabrizio just tweeting that once Reguilon is announced and Bale is completed, a backup striker is next. We are literally the biggest bant-up club, says Stephen Alexander B. And Glazers know that with no spectators in the games, our rage will only be limited to social media. Absolute piss take, says Sims. Well, look, Ollie's got his press conference tomorrow morning, and I think his demeanour in that press conference is going to tell us everything. Will he be Mr. Upbeat? Yes, he will. But you can also read Ollie quite, not easily, but I think you can read Ollie. I mean, people say that's disrespectful. It's not disrespectful. You can read me. You know what mood I'm in. You know, a lot of you watch every morning or every night. You know, you can read my body, can't you? And I'm not going to get naked or anything like that. But, you know, you can literally, we can hide some things, but we give a lot away. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is somebody that we, when the season's up and running, we're probably watching him 2-3 times a week, talking to us.
So we'll be able to read Ollie tomorrow. I think before Christmas time, when he was talking about Erling Haaland, I read that he thought that deal was going to happen. The things he was saying, his non-verbal communication skills, I think he thought Haaland was coming and then he got let down. So I think tomorrow, when he's asked about transfers, if he's downbeat, we're in trouble. If he's upbeat, I think, he knows. And look, there was that story last night that he's told Sancho that the deal's going to happen soon. And Barney is a wealthy businessman from India who I saw was interested in buying the club. Love the videos. Keep up the good work, says James Cutbush. I don't care where they are from. If they are wealthy and are interested in making Manchester United the best club in the world and they support Manchester United, please buy the club. Because all those three, wealthy, wants United to be the best in the world and is a United fan, that's what you want. The Glazers are not wealthy. They've got not in relate. Well, they are wealthy. I'm sure they've got a nice house and a nice house and a nice car. But they're not. We're not wealthy under them. We're not a wealthy club. They might be, but we're not. They're not Manchester United fans really, and they don't want Manchester United to be successful on the pitch. That's not their goal. So there's 3 reasons we fail, and there's 3 reasons I wouldn't want a buyer who buys us to make money. I wouldn't want a buyer who doesn't support the club, and I wouldn't want a buyer who doesn't want us to be the best club in the world. So anybody who wants to do that is welcome. If we don't sign Sancho, Pogba will not sign a new deal, meaning there will be a poisonous feeling all season, says Chris Elliott. I mean, all I can say about the Pogba deal is, I'm gonna find something out today, I think. But I think that Pogba and a contract at the moment is probably up in the air. You're right. Ed Woodward showing other teams from where to sign good players, says Abashak. And hi Mark, do you think Pogba would sign a new contract even if we don't get no one? This club is depressing, says Aidan Ronnie. I'm speaking to somebody later on today. We've got James Cooper on live at 1 o'clock today, the Sky Sports correspondent. So that's going to be a very interesting interview with Flex, and he's going to be live as well, so we should get really good updates. I would imagine James will say we weren't in for Thiago, but we should get some updates on that. But look, it doesn't matter whether you're Paul Pogba or Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford or Anthony Martial. If the club continue to do what they're doing, all these players will go at some point because they're too good to be playing for 5th. Pogba's too good to play for 5th. Martial's too good to play for 5th. Rashford's too good to play for 5th. Bruno's too good to play for 5th. These players will leave this club. One way or another, they will leave this club because they've got to play at the highest level. And at the moment, we flirt with the highest level and then don't follow through. Spend all this, it's like your dream girl or boy or whatever is at the bar. You're at the other end of the bar. They're eyeing you up. You're flirting. It's all going on. You're flirting, and that dream girl is the Champions League and a Premier League title, or boy, and you're having a good old flirt, and they're basically giving you the eye, And we're not all good at reading the signs, but they're basically saying, "Come and take me out, and give me a kiss." And United just spend their time flirting with it, and then they go, "Bye," and walk off. I've taped the news night, and they're off home. And we flirt with being a big club. And then we don't follow through. And then what happens is, on your way out, the doorman says, "You're barred. You're barred. You're an idiot. You're barred." So you can't even get in the club of where the Champions League and the Premier League titles are. You're back in the Europa League. You're back down your local. And then, you try it a year later and they say, "We'll give you another chance." And you come back into the bar and you're flirting again. And then you walk out again. We have to win something next year. We'll risk losing our own players, says Nitton. And Mbappe, the thing is, the thing about Mbappe, right? If you want to believe the Mbappe rumour that he would consider coming to Manchester United next summer, why aren't you listening now? Why are we future FC? Let's live now. Mbappe is one of the best young players in the world, definitely, right? So's Jadon Sancho. He wants to come to the club now. Screw what Mbappe wants to do next year. Sancho wants to come to Manchester United now, and we still haven't signed him. Ronaldo probably wanted to come to United instead of Juventus, and we didn't try and get him. So there is absolutely nothing. Robert McCormack, was them flirting skills how you pulled your wife? No, I don't need to do all that. They're all lining up, mate. I'll go, no, yes. Maybe next week. That's a joke. But no, seriously, I mean, it doesn't matter if a player wants to come to Manchester United if you've got our board. Because, as I said, Jadon Sancho wants to come to Manchester United. Is he a Manchester United player? No, he's not. It doesn't matter whether a player wants to come to our club. We must never get excited about a player wanting to come to our club anymore, because the most important factor is, and it never should be, is that our negotiation ability and transfer policy is poor. So it doesn't matter if Mbappe wants to come to United, because Real Madrid will be in for him and they'll negotiate it better. United are too nice with players. They need to be more brutal in offloading by taking their squad number away and banishing to reserves. Force them out, says Ricky Mason. Well, you know what? One of the worst players we did that to, and he never deserved it, was Schweinsteiger. The way Mourinho treated Schweinsteiger was a bloody disgrace. Like, Schweinsteiger never did anything wrong at United. He was a bit injury prone. That was our fault for buying him. But he came back from the summer and Mourinho dumped him in the reserves. Got him training with the kids. You know, you're not part of the first team setup. It was brutal. And I don't think it was justified. But we probably have got players where it is justified. Yeah, you're right. But, you know, Phil Jones and Rojo and everybody else who's shit will be there cuddling up with Greenwood and Rashi. You know, we're all part of it. No, get out. Get off me. Don't touch me. Get off. Don't get your failure anywhere near me. But no, we won't. We probably are too nice. Welcome to Din Nudge 8, latest member of the United Stand Members Club, and Isaac Gill. Thanks for joining and supporting the channel. You get your little badge next to your name, as has Isaac Gill. He says Mbappe next year. Mbappe would not even join you if you pay him 10 million a day, says Je suis Paris. I like the name. I don't like your comment. I think it's a bit stupid. Manchester United have acquired players such as Paul Pogba, and we will get Sancho. So players do want to come to this club. But I agree, we are prattish when it comes to doing deals. What's the point in going to the Champions League when there's no ambition to improve the team, says Lawrence. Money, 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 money. That's what it's all about. And Thiago is going to Liverpool. If Frank Lampard wants Sancho, he will already be blue, says Honza. And we have been scammed out of £500 million by our owners, yet they have still failed to buy a hair transplant. Big up Marks, mate, 90% club as always, says Aditya. And some fans think Sancho and centre-back will bring us title. Any thoughts? We have no backup for Matic too. Darshan, I don't think that will make us title winners. I think that Van der Beek, Upamecano and Sancho, which isn't going to happen, not those three signings won't happen, that would not have won us the title. I think title talk, even if we'd had a very good transfer window, was unfair, unrealistic. We have got no chance of winning the title as we stand here today. Absolutely none. I think our battle will be for fourth. That's the only battle. That's the only battle we're in, for fourth. At this moment in time, the only battle we're in for fourth. If you bring Sancho in, I reckon we could get third and maybe get closer to second. But we're not in a title race. I said yesterday 99%, now I'm 99.5%. Van der Beek was our only signing, says Chatnana. I'm pretty sure that the Sancho deal will fail apart. Again, I'm afraid this will go from worst to disaster, says Eric. And Mukesh Ambani, net worth 88 billion. You need him to win the Champions League. Here is 549 for a start, says Briel Mbolo. Oh God, Mbolo sends a shivers down my spines. That was the first deal I got wrong, where I said Mbolo was a done deal. I never speak to that person again. Made me look a right prat. Mark, it's been announced that Liverpool are paying 20 million with 5 million in add-ons. What is wrong with us, says Martial FC. Yeah, but you know what? In fairness, Thiago did want to go to Liverpool. I've got to say that over us. But it's just embarrassing that we haven't, we're not getting deals done, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Awad Shamlan says, Mark, stop dreaming. Sancho will not come to Man United unless we pay the full package, which we will. And can I just say, when Sancho does sign, I will really tell a few people to sit down who are members of the United Stand Members Club. But just remember, it will be for your own good. You're still United fans, and Sancho's going to make us better. So when he does sign, and I lose it, and I go, you, shut up, sit down. I still love you. You're still all part of the United fan base, and Sancho makes us better. But a lot of you better buy a chair because you're going to sit down. Mbappe definitely wants United next year. I understand Woodward is considering that, says Francis German. I do not care about next year. You know, if you focus on the future, it never comes. It never happens. What if he doesn't sign? If he doesn't sign, I will get a massive chair to sit down and apologise to you all. Exactly. There's always two sides to any story. Remember this. There's always two sides to any story. People believe what they want to believe. Ranchi says you better buy a chair then, and Chris M says considering a bid FC. Let's get some positivity out of this window. We need some happiness. Fans deserves more, says Dinniger. And Mbappe definitely wants United next year. Oh, I've read that one already. Okay, look, we could talk all day. We've got James Cooper on at 1 o'clock. That's going to be a very interesting interview. Sky Sports Manchester United correspondent. He's been close to United for years and years and years. Good relationships with the club and Ollie. So it'll be interesting to see what James is going to say at 8 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So join us live for that. Only a couple of hours away, really. Well, 3. And yeah, look, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens today. Thank God we do not buy our way to the Premier League title, or else we would never have won, says Chatnana Relkar. And get your chair ready, Mark. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. At least we're in it together. That's all I can say. Whatever this is, at least we're all in it together. I'll speak to you all soon.